The air hung heavy with sorrow, tears flowed freely, mingling with the red earth. Kofi and Ama's parents were gone. A cruel sickness had swept through their village, taking their beloved Ma and Papa. Kofi, barely a teenager, held his little sister Ama close. Her small frame shook with sobs he couldn't silence. The world felt colder, the sky a little dimmer. Their parents, their protectors, were gone. The villagers gathered, their faces etched with fear and grief. But when they looked at Kofi and Ama, their sorrow shifted. Whispers filled the air, fingers pointed. Superstition ran deep in their village. Children orphaned by this disease were bad luck, they murmured. Kofi felt a chill deeper than any he had ever known. It wasn't just the loss of his parents, it was the fear in the eyes of those he had known all his life. The days that followed were a blur of pain and confusion. No one offered comfort, no one offered food. The once familiar faces turned away as if they were strangers. Kofi knew what he had to do. He gathered their few belongings, a worn blanket, a wooden bowl, and his father's old machete. Taking Ama's hand, he led her away from the village, away from the whispers and the accusing eyes. They were alone. The forest became their refuge, the rustling leaves their only solace. Kofi, barely a boy himself, became Ama's protector, her provider. He taught her to identify edible plants, how to gather firewood, and how to build a small fire for warmth. They slept huddled together, finding comfort in each other's presence as the nights grew cold. Hunger gnawed at their bellies, but Kofi refused to let Ama see his fear. One day they stumbled upon a clearing. A lone mango tree stood tall, its branches heavy with ripe fruit. Ama's eyes lit up, a rare smile breaking through her sadness. It was the first time Kofi had seen her smile since their parents died. He climbed the tree, plucking the sweetest mangoes he could find. As they ate, juice dripping down their chins, Kofi felt a flicker of hope. They were alive. They would survive. Life was a constant struggle. They moved from place to place, always wary of encountering other villagers. Kofi took on odd jobs, chopping wood, fetching water, anything to earn a handful of rice or a piece of fruit. He bore the weight of their misfortune on his young shoulders, determined to shield Ama from the worst of it. But the pain of their abandonment never truly left them. One scorching afternoon they sought refuge from the relentless sun under a baobab tree. Exhausted and hungry, they could only watch as a group of travelers passed by. One of them, an elderly woman with kind eyes, noticed their plight. She offered them water and a few pieces of dried meat, a simple act of kindness that brought tears to Kofi's eyes. The woman listened intently as Kofi recounted their story, her gaze filled with sympathy. When he finished, she told them about a nearby village ruled by a wise and generous chief. He was known for his fairness and his compassion for those less fortunate. She pointed them in the direction of the village, urging them to seek his help. Hope, long dormant, flickered anew in their hearts. Kofi and Ama wasted no time. With renewed determination, they set off towards the village. The journey was long and arduous, but they drew strength from the possibility of a better life. The thought of finding a place where they wouldn't be judged, where they could finally belong, kept them going. After days of walking barefoot under the blistering sun, Kofi and Ama finally arrived at the nearest village, their hearts heavy, but their hope unwavering. The village, a small but vibrant community, buzzed with life as children played under the giant baobab tree and women pounded fufu in the shade of their thatched roofs. Exhausted, the siblings collapsed at the edge of the village square, their clothes tattered and their stomachs empty. Word of their arrival spread quickly, and soon the village chief, a dignified man draped in rich Kente cloth and golden ornaments, emerged. His presence commanded respect, yet radiated kindness. The chief, noticing their state, immediately ordered his attendants to bring food, water, and clean clothing. Kofi and Ama, with tears streaming down their faces, devoured the food before them, warm yams, stew, and cool water from the clay pots, as if it were a feast prepared for kings. The chief listened patiently as Kofi bravely shared their story, their parents' death, their struggle to survive, and the shame they carried as outcasts. Silence filled the air as the chief's wise eyes searched their faces. Then, as if a forgotten memory had returned, he spoke. "Who were your parents?" he asked gently. As Kofi and Ama shared their family's name, the chief's expression softened into one of shock and joy. He rose to his feet and exclaimed, "You are blood, my sister's grandchildren." The chief revealed that their late mother had been his niece, lost to time when she married and moved far away. Overwhelmed, Kofi and Ama fell to their knees, crying tears of both disbelief and gratitude. From that day forward, their lives transformed. The chief welcomed them into his home as family, giving them a place of honor. He sent them to the best schools in the region, clothed them in fine garments, and gave them a new sense of purpose. Under his guidance, Kofi learned leadership and trade, while Ama excelled in weaving and storytelling, skills that brought them both admiration and respect in the village. News of their transformation spread far and wide. The siblings who once wandered as orphans, mocked by society, now stood as symbols of hope and redemption. The very community that had turned its back on them before now celebrated their journey. Kofi and Ama, no longer shackled by poverty and disgrace, grew into pillars of strength, returning often to help other children who suffered as they once had. Their story became a testament to grace and the power of unexpected connections, a reminder that even in life's darkest moments, a helping hand can rewrite destiny. Through the generosity of the chief, Kofi and Ama rose not only to fame, but to a legacy of service, carrying forward the chief's kindness and wisdom wherever they went. And so, the outcasts became leaders, the lost were found, and the forgotten were celebrated. Their story lives on, inspiring us to believe that no child's story is over until love, kindness, and opportunity write the final chapter. Thank you for watching and being part of the change. Follow Divine Gateway Foundation for more inspirational stories of hope, transformation, and second chances. Together, we are rescuing children, breaking barriers, and building brighter futures, one life at a time. Your support makes miracles happen, like share and join us on this mission to give every child the love, trust, and opportunities they deserve. Let's rise as a community, as churches, as a human family. Follow Divine Gateway Foundation today. Let's transform lives together. Visit our website to learn more and be a part of this life-changing movement.